At Kendall College, science class never tasted so good.
Everything in cooking is actually science.
Molecular gastronomy is a required course at Kendall College's top-rated culinary arts program in Chicago. As a supplement to basic skills, students are now taught to foam, gel, and liquefy common food into surprising new flavor combinations.
My name is Chef Todd Menaker. I am a chef instructor here at Kendall College. The name of the class I teach is Food Science for Chefs. Everything in cooking is actually science. We've just come up with culinary names for it, culinary techniques for it. Science is the law that governs all of the culinary arts, and the science helps you create more delicious food. My background is kind of interesting for a culinarian. I'm self-taught, and I spent a lot of time studying on my own to become a certified research chef, which is a blend between a food scientist and a chef. My first day of class, what I say to the students that I'm here to give them food science so they can apply it to the culinary arts knowledge that they have and become a better chef. Eric, could you bring me the dewar of liquid nitrogen, please? We're going to get started with our cryogenic freezing experiments. Liquid nitrogen is very exciting. It's insanely cold. It's one of the coldest substances on the planet, so it can freeze things really rapidly. There are hundreds of chemical and physical changes that take place when you freeze things. So I use the liquid nitrogen to demonstrate to the students how the time it takes to freeze something is completely related to the quality you get at the end. If you take a long time to freeze something, the water freezes very slowly and forms huge ice crystals that destroy the cell structure of the product that you're working with.
That's pretty gross.
Yes. That's what improper technique will get you. Gross every time. The quicker you can freeze it, the smaller the ice crystals you will get. So if you can freeze it in something that's about 250 degrees below zero, and will do almost no cellular damage in the fruits. The students here at Kendall really grab on to what we learn in that class and embrace it because it allows them to achieve their objective, to make the best tasting food they possibly can.
This is a store-bought Rice Krispies treat. This is a Megabytes Rice Krispies treat. We're creating the world's largest Rice Krispies treat, and it's all for a good cause. The Children's Art Program at the Community Center of La Cañada, California. This is Megabytes. I've assembled a dream team. Food scientist Todd Menaker to handle the recipe and food formulation, and mechanical engineer Scott Stuckel to handle the design and structural engineering of our project. The current Rice Krispies treat world record is 3,500 pounds. That record has stood for 8 years. Until now. We're going for 10,000 pounds. So I met the guys at our test kitchen to start with a home-sized batch.
Rice Krispies treat on this scale is the easiest thing in the world. So the first thing we do is melt our butter. Okay. Then we add our marshmallows. The three most important things when making a Rice Krispies treat are the viscosity of the melted marshmallow and butter, a ratio between marshmallow, butter, and Rice Krispies, and getting a homogeneous mixture so we have a nice uniform treat. I knew it. Sucrose, table sugar, as soon as it gets cold, it vulcanizes together, making the mixture impossible to stir. And I can barely mix one batch. You're thinking 10,000 of these, my friend. 10,000.
A single 1-pound batch requires 2.5 foot-pounds of torque to mix, but our 10,000-pound batch will require 12,000 foot-pounds of torque. So we had to think of a different way to make the mixing process more manageable.
The sous vide method, which is boiling in a bag, basically. So we take a vacuum bag, we pack it full of marshmallow and butter, and we drop it into boiling water. Because it's a sealed system, we're not going to lose the moisture that we lost in this, which is going to make it more flowable.
In order for this to work, we'll need enough water to boil 1,600 sous vide bags and 3.7 million BTUs of heat to keep over 2,000 gallons of water at the proper temperature over 3 days.
Scott's production line idea is an interesting solve for all of our problems. Whether it'll work to make Rice Krispies treats is a whole nother story. Watching all the equipment be delivered is super exciting, but all that's going through my mind is bacteria. We got to get proper food contact surfaces established, and then we need to sanitize them properly so we're ready to go. All right, guys, the campfire marshmallows are in these big white boxes. Each bag needs 6 bags of marshmallows. So if we could have the butter scooper load 1 level full cup. We need perfectly flat seals, otherwise we're going to get water leaking in, and our viscosity, which is absolutely critical to this process, is going to be shot. I got to go in and physically clean these windows.
Our mold has to be clean from the get-go. So Todd is sanitizing our plastic liner using a standard commercial food sanitizer that kills 99.9% of any bacteria present.
All right, guys, congratulations. You've made our first acceptable bag here. This is a perfect seal, not a single wrinkle. All we need is another 1,600 of these, and we're in business.
Is that good?
Even melt, perfect viscosity. Perfect. We're ready to start making some treats.
Todd's boil in a bag method is genius. The boil in a bag is the only way that we would ever be able to do anything of this magnitude. Nice work, Todd.
All right, guys, keep stirring. We need to mix this thoroughly and properly so we have an absolute uniform mixture. Gentlemen?
You ready? We're gonna go.
I'm ready to call this.
Come on, come on.
The extreme joy I'm feeling was very quickly tempered by glancing at the cavernous size of that thing. It only reminded me of how much further we had to go.
Right here in the middle, bring it in, bring it in. Oh,
Two more, please. We're here to help these people because they've had a really rough go of it the past couple of years with wildfires and mudslides and flooding. Did you have to evacuate, or how did that go?
I left town.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was kind of scary to see your house in danger of, losing something you've had for 30-some years. It's kind of a really scary thing. The community center is just the only place in town where people can come and just have one place that everybody's welcome and can do so many different activities and all.
That's really great. To get to meet someone who's actually lived through it and had to evacuate several times and sandbag their house, it really brings it home. It really makes me feel great. Excellent job, ladies. You have definitely adapted quickly. I love it. We're 2 minutes away from having 3-4 batches, all right? Start stirring, boys. The most important thing in this step is getting us to a very even viscosity. If we have clumps of white stuff and loose Rice Krispies, we won't have our structural integrity, and this thing might fall over and crush somebody. Scott's production line is really starting to gel. I had a little bit of doubt, but seeing it come together today gives me hope that it's going to work and carry us through the end.
Todd confronted another challenge. He wanted to add edible color in mega proportions to really make our treat pop.
We're going to make giant confetti sprinkles. We're going to do it with something called fondant. And fondant is basically edible Play-Doh. Well, you'll get the most out of your piece. Yeah. Great job. Those look beautiful. This fondant confetti came out better than I ever imagined. I think that Brian and Scott are going to be blown away when they see this stuff. All right, guys, check it out. Here comes the confetti.
Nice topping, my friend.
Just great to see these familiar faces and to see this community coming out to celebrate what we've brought here.
I think it's finished.
Are you ready to see the world's largest Rice Krispies treat? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have the representatives from the Guinness Book of World Records to certify that this is the world's largest Rice Krispies treat. Let's take a look. Ready? Show us the weight.
I've poured my heart and soul into this, and if we don't break this record, I'm going to be extremely disappointed.
To really be successful, the sides have to come down. This is an incredible feeling. I just broke a world record. I mean, I can't even explain it. It was smooth, gorgeous. I mean, it turned out absolutely beautiful.
Shall we take a bite?
Let's taste it. Let's have it.
Taste it.
We set out to break the world record this week, and Guinness recognized that we did it. But the most important thing we accomplished this week was what we did with the community, what we did for the kids, and that's what matters.
Looking out at that crowd as they were eating this Rice Krispies treat, you could see the smiles. It was unbelievable.
It's amazing to see so many people out here supporting the center and seeing the treat. I love it.
Thank you. We love you, and thanks for having us. Woo!
We became a family. We became part of the community for a few days. And the fact that we got to share in the love that is La Cañada was absolutely incredible.
I don't know, man. What's next? We got to go big again, huh? Let's go figure it out.